if we
Yeah.
have to.
I'm not
If we
opposed
do
to
need
that.
to, we can educate him further if we need to. As
What's up, Garrett?
yeah.
What's up, fam?
Don't worry, I had to talk Garrett out of the same thing at one point, too, so don't even worry about it.
Yeah, because Grant was looking at it and he was like, there's no option to like choose the number of beds. So like,
No,
I'm like,
no,
all right, well,
yep.
probably need
Corey,
to.
those pictures are so deceiving. Like
So
it's
deceiving.
literally a small hallway, a
Yeah.
bathroom on the right, and then a bed like in the corner of the room against the wall, the window, and everything, and like a TV on the wall. Like it's like the smallest hotel you've ever
It's
seen.
worth it though. It
It is. No, it's
What
How
not.
close
happened?
is
What
it to you?
We're talking about Citizen M.
I'm teaching Corey to be a rich person too.
How close is it to you, Miles?
It's
Right there.
It's in the mix. Like
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Like
Like you'll
going
see.
down soon.
Yeah, next
Yeah.
week.
Next week,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'll be down there the following.
Yeah, don't worry. I'm giving him the same itinerary I made you. Don't worry about it.
Honestly, I might book for like 10 days and just stay out there for a while.
That's
Yeah.
That's gonna be fun too, man. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna be
It's that long.
there that long?
I'm still thinking about it. I was thinking about either doing like a quick one and then coming back in a few weeks or a month or so, or just staying for like 10 days and just chilling out there for a while.
Oh, nice.
Garrett, I'll do it today. Let's get it. 2024, big year. Hell yeah. Thanks for everyone tuning in, especially on a Friday night. Warner and I have a big free training going down on Wednesday to help get a lot of you guys get kicked off with this stuff. So I definitely recommend going ahead and getting registered for that. It's linked in the description. I'm also going to drop it in the chat too, right there, which should be fun and everything. But good to have the fellas here and such, and we're going to get after it here. Sweet.
You haven't done one of those in a while. It's been what, like probably a month and a half?
Yeah, so we did the last one. I think it was December 13th. Yeah.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Sweet.
Someone said, let's get it 2024 big year. Yes, sir.
Yeah, so we got 71 of you guys in here. Any questions you guys got, definitely let us know. For the people who might want to get started with wholesale, what are the first couple steps they should be taking?
So it depends if they're already selling, right? So typically I recommend don't start wholesale right off the bat. If you're a brand new Amazon seller, you should start with arbitrage. But assuming you have an arbitrage background, then just look at the brands that you're already selling, right? And start reaching out to those brands directly. Or if they're really big brands, reach out to the brand, but ask that brand to put you in touch with an authorized distributor. That's going to be your best bet.
I think that's something that's super underrated. Because if you qualify at the brand level, and worst case you don't get the brand, then either their sales rep can probably put you in contact with other sales reps at distribution companies, or you just keep working your way down the ladder until you inevitably find an account that you can ultimately purchase from.
Yep.
Speaking facts. Goat session. Yeah, bro, 100% ROI. I appreciate you, fam.
I love that.
I really appreciate it. Just started. My goal is to become a private label. Damn. So your goal is to be a private label. Okay. From the UK. Appreciate it. As to what products to sell as a new beginner. Yeah, bro. So what I'd recommend doing is go on YouTube, search Flips4Miles free course and get started with that. It is going to be mainly about the US, but it's like, pretty much all the same thing and such. So yeah, that's where I'd recommend getting started. But and then also too, if you want to get auto ungated and a ton of stuff, the auto ungated list is in the description too. Good evening from damn, we got a bunch of you guys in the damn Aladdin, I didn't know you were in the UK.
100 ROI FBM. That hat you made was pretty cool. I don't know where I saw that. I think it was Twitter. But,
I think it was Twitter too. I think I saw it as well. Should be fun. Garrett, are you prepared for tomorrow?
Yeah, someone's got to make the reservation.
No, that's a cat job. That's a cat job. Yeah.
He said from the rev he wasn't doing that.
Oh, really? He always does it. Would you guys recommend to start this journey doing RA or OA? Honestly, both, man. The nice thing is that, probably for a while you're going to do both. You're going to have the choice, right? But I'd say, just get started with doing both for sure. That's going to be the easiest way to do it.
Yeah. RA is cool because you get to see the product in hand and you're able to list it immediately.
Well, you could just also act quicker. Oh, go ahead.
Well, yeah, I was going to say the cool thing about RA too is that with OA, you're competing with every other seller in the country, right? But with retail arbitrage, you're only competing with other sellers in your area that can physically source those same products. And depending on where you live, that might be a lot of sellers, but chances are it's not going to be, it's going to be way fewer than you would be competing with OA, right? So each one has its pros and cons, but yeah, why not do both?
and the speed at which you can act is crazy, right? Because that market's not going to change too much from the point that you're in the store until you get home or that night. Whereas with OA, depending on some of the ship times, you could be waiting 3, 4, 5 days to actually get that product. And ultimately, especially with some of these high speed, high volatility markets, you don't necessarily know what's going to be the result of that waiting time, especially if you're not as experienced and you don't have sort of as kind of intuition in terms of like the historicals of the graph. You're naturally going to be probably adhering to a little bit more of a temporary market, and you can be a lot more successful with temporary, more maxed out markets with RA.
Sweet.
Somebody said best software to track profits. They said, so Aladdin asked that question, and Aladdin also said they're already using Sellerboard. Yeah, I'd say stick with Sellerboard. I mean, I think that's what most people use.
That and QuickBooks in conjunction are going to give you a really good picture.
That's what we use. I used Inventory Lab in the past. It just doesn't update as quick as Sellerboard does.
I do think that the QuickBooks as well is a necessity, right? Because there's so many things that are going to go under, like all the QuickBooks links directly to your bank account, Amazon account, and your credit cards. Max is calling me right now.
Bro, yeah, pick up and tell him to get the resi.
Yeah.
You're on live right now. What do you got to say to the people?
Hold on.
Not a good message. What was that?
So I can't see how RA would work. Yeah, so you're gonna be required to provide invoices on or receipts from RA on about 1 out of every 2,000 orders. So you're probably not even gonna need them. But to beat them, what you can do is take a picture of the product with the physical receipt always.
Max, 30 seconds of motivation. Let's hear it. Oh, he disconnected.
All right, G-Body. We'll get him out of here. So it's interesting. You see how it's almost dark here in Pennsylvania already?
Yeah, it's almost dark here too.
It doesn't get like this in Miami till like 6.
Really?
Yeah. Well, so that is true, but the problem is that disproves the flat Earth theory. Yeah,
I think there's a lot of other things that disprove the flat Earth.
Yeah,
Isn't it Kyrie who said that? Kyrie Irving who was saying that?
Yeah.
a lot of
There's a lot of
hot takes. Yeah.
You got some good sunset vibes in the back there. Nice blue sky starting to.
Yeah.
You know how to mess around.
Stone said, "Hey boys, happy New Year! Happy New Year to you as well."
Yeah.
Very light in Florida. Yeah, it's a land of opportunity. Both figurative and literal.
Oh, this is a good question. I'm curious to hear your guys' answer. So somebody said, are you guys willing to share what your first product that you ever sourced was? Yep. So for me, I remember exactly what that was. It was a textbook on C++ coding. I think it's like a coding language. And I sourced it from a Salvation Army thrift store. And I remember when I was sitting there, when I was looking at it, right? Like I scanned it with my phone.
What's going on?
My bad.
I'm looking at you're good. I'm looking at the Keep It graph. I'm looking at the book, and I sat there for like 10 minutes trying to decide, like, should I buy it? Should I not buy it? I don't really know. But I'm like, dude, it costs $2. Like, just buy it. And so I bought
it.
Mine was a grill cover from Walmart, and I ended up losing like $8 on shipping.
Nice.
Mine was shoes at the outlet after I bought socks to get ungated.
You don't count though because you already had like.
I was gonna say my first product I sold was Yeezys. That was like 5 years ago.
You're like the Luka Doncic who was an actual rookie, but he was playing 10 years overseas.
Asian beauty wholesale. Do you have any experience? Not familiar with that, man, but you definitely want to make sure they're legit. Have you heard of it?
I think I've heard of it as well.
That's probably a red flag, though.
Yeah.
But a lot of those companies, there's a lot of like Asian beauty wholesalers in particular. All they're doing is importing from Asia, like usually South Korea. It's a big, I guess, cosmetics country. And then just selling. I mean, their pricing is typically going to be like not very good. So, I mean, the products are probably legit, but the pricing is probably not going to be great.
I just pulled up
killed on shipping.
Yeah, I just pulled up their website and I'm already seeing like all the prices and stuff. So I'm assuming the prices are not going to be very profitable.
Did 55K in December, order cancels, got ready to give up on OA. Should my next step be to go in and get your mentorship or go the wholesale route? It's completely up to you. If you were considering giving up, the last thing you should do is pivot to wholesale.
Yeah.
Just because it's gonna take a while for you to get pretty good at wholesale. So you're gonna need to have the trait of, focus and determination, etc. You can do way, way, way more than that with OA. Like order cancel shouldn't be the bottleneck. You're just not looking at the right sites.
Yeah.
And the cool thing when you're talking about OA to wholesale is a lot of it is cross-functional, right? You're going to learn a lot of valuable skills with your OA kind of toolbox that are going to transition into wholesale really well, right? And that main one being looking at a product and just really understanding what has gone on in the past and using that to really develop an understanding of what will happen, right? So it's what does the buy box movement mean? What does the recent increase in offers mean? What's the sales ranking mean? What do all these three things, how do they interact and how do they come together to really tell a story of the product? That skill will be developed in the OA kind of framework at a smaller scale, right? So you may make a $500 mistake as opposed to a $5,000 mistake, and you're going to save yourself a whole lot of headaches.
Stone said he got ungated in Nike on the 30th plus try. Like that is insane. So for those of you that get denied 3 or 4 times and then claim that you can't get ungated with certain receipts, just know that a lot of times it's going to take really multiple tries.
That's the most amount of submissions I've ever heard of, honestly.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
So this is a good question. Johanna said, is there a way to see which warehouse my FBA shipment would go to before creating the shipment? Trying to figure out my cost per pound. So not before creating the shipment, right? But what we will often do is if we're considering sourcing a product and we're thinking that the shipping cost might make or break the opportunity, we'll just create like a dummy shipment, right? So I'll act as if I'm listing, say, 500 units of that product, see where Amazon tells me they want me to send it. And then depending on what Amazon does in terms of like breaking up that shipment or sending it all to one FC, that sometimes will determine whether we move forward with the purchase or not.
What does everyone think of Seller's amp? Didn't really have any luck with it. Well, if you're worried about luck, nothing's gonna work.
Yeah.
Right. Like, have you ever heard a millionaire said they didn't have luck with something? Never. Not
but I'd be curious to hear like what exactly, like what did they not have luck with, right? Like,
I think he might be referring to storefront stocking maybe or something like that.
Which the answer is typically you haven't done it enough, right? Or you need to figure out what discounts. It's like, are you looking at discounted gift card sites? Do you have all the coupon extensions? Did you ask customer service on all these websites if they have a coupon? Right? Has another Amazon seller heard your voice? Right? Has another Amazon seller seen your face? I would bet good money the answer to all of those is no.
Keeper, seller amp, you're going to need both. They both kind of act and kind of complement each other, right? Keeper is going to give you like the whole history of the buy box. Or actually, they both really give the same information, but I would just
sometimes SellerAmp provides more information than Keepa. That's one of my favorite things about SellerAmp is how sometimes you'll look at a Keepa chart and you'll look a year ago and there's a missing piece of data, a sales rank or something like that. And sometimes I'll be able to check SellerAmp and it has that missing piece. There's definitely been a few items that I would have never bought without that data.
I think the only thing that you're missing is like a variation, like a competition variation analysis piece, right? Because you added the buy box rotation part. So that
there actually is. You can turn on the variation side of things. It's just in beta currently.
Does it have the out of stock variations?
No. That's a big thing though.
Yeah.
So Jay just asked the question, let's save him his account, right? He said, should I be considering distributors that primarily function through Telegram? The answer is no. Every time, no. Doesn't matter what the deal is, how good the deal is, don't buy through Telegram. Somebody said you use no sales tax prep centers in sales tax-free states like Delaware, Oregon. So if you're doing online arbitrage and you're going to be using a prep center, 100%, it would be completely, well, not pointless, but you'd be doing yourself a disservice by having a prep center in a state that charges you sales tax when there's plenty of prep centers in states that don't charge sales tax.
W water. Yeah, that is W water.
I knew someone was going to make a comment as soon as you reached up to drink it.
W water. It's a vibe. What percentage of my audience do you think is male versus female?
2% female. 1.5%.
I was going to say like 95.5. Probably 97.3.
That's what I said, but wasn't it like 10 or 13%?
It's 16% female.
That's what I thought. Okay, yeah.
On YouTube?
Corey, I guess 95% as well.
Yeah.
Mine. I thought mine was like 3%.
Oh, yours is going to be very, very low. Yeah.
Yeah, on Instagram, mine is like 90% dudes in their 20s.
Yeah, mine.
Which is not surprising.
Mine, Jules. Yeah, Jules always says long time
Oh,
no see,
Sean.
but he's actually right in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah, so mine is 2% female, 98% male.
That's you got to tweet that. That's crazy, man.
58%.
What do you think that means? Why is mine so much higher than yours? What do we think are the implications of that?
You have more like basic content, like
Oh,
Yeah.
so we're saying women only like basic content.
No, it's just like for the masses. It's just a numbers thing. There's more.
It's less like tactical stuff. Like there's not many women out there watching the Gmail sorting video.
Mine's 92.8.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I wonder what the further implications of these statements are. Yeah.
Said my audience channels, my audience watches, Field to Profit, Flips4Miles. Those are the top two.
Let's see what mine are. It's like Reezy. Yeah, we flip it all. Whoever eBay and Amazon guru is, Rake and Profit. That's a W. I like eBay. I know who eBay Amazon guru is. That dude's a W too. Luke W. I'm not sure who he is, but he's he's killing it with like interesting. Bro's traveling the world and shit. That's cool. Who else? Jazz Hustles, yeah.
I'm in a group of 7 of us ladies, and we all stan Garrett. We have a channel in our Discord to share his vids. There we go.
That's lit.
That's awesome. That's love.
That's love. That is love.
So distributor with Telegram is no good. Yeah, never buy from a distributor if they communicate through Telegram at all.
Bro said we all stand Garrett. That's hilarious. That is absolutely hilarious.
Here we fucking go. That's the best news I've heard all day.
Private message.
In months, actually. Scratch that. That's huge.
No complaint evidence on Keepa, no IP alert pop-up, no seller app alert. I guess I don't really know what Stone's referring to there. Is he just saying that like on Keepa, Keepa won't alert you about like IP issues or anything like that. Keepa is just strictly sales rank data, offer history data, that type of stuff.
But you'll see. I mean, if the competition's like do and then plummets, then that's probably an IP complaint. Yeah. So personally, I get sus when I get messages from brands, but I have heard a lawyer say that if it doesn't show in your account health page, you typically shouldn't really worry about it. I definitely do get sus when I get.
Miles, what's the product that you use to demonstrate? I always use that same one.
Oh, Balance of Nature.
That's it. Yeah. That's like as good of an example.
One of them. Yeah. And Keepa, I think low-key did change how they even show that data, so it kind of looks different now, but it's on there.
Moore asked me, how do you know to buy 800 of those Converse when there's only a few sellers? So in that circumstance, it was just like a very, very fast-selling listing, like a few thousand ranked. I would personally look at the Keepa offers along with a mix of like the variations and like the number bought in the past month. Keepa offers is probably my favorite way though. When you see a seller that has like 100 in stock and you can see them drop like 99, 98, 97 and consistently go down, that's what I look for pretty much.
Mia, what was your question? Did we miss it?
I didn't even see
it was way up here. Moore asked me about the Converse, and she also asked about like how she checks the velocity from the offer count going down.
Damn, I placed a bunch of orders on Nike.com yesterday, and they're all shipping already. That's love.
For Asian beauty wholesale, it specifies not to resell on Amazon. Can we still buy there for OA? I mean, if you're selling on Amazon, I probably wouldn't.
If they tell you not to, I probably would.
Yeah. Because chances are granted, they're probably a distributor company that has a bunch of brands, so they probably are monitoring listings in some capacity.
So Thomas said, wish we had the good outlets in the UK like the US. So yeah, as far as I know, there aren't necessarily a ton of outlets in the UK like there are here in the States. But at the same time, you can still do online arbitrage if you're in the UK, you can still do online arbitrage for Amazon.com, right? There's plenty of people that do that.
It's a fact.
Corey, did you hit the gym today?
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Tay, I was going to answer that. So Tay said, to get started in wholesale, is it more effective to reach out to brands, ask for their distributors, or hitting up random wholesalers and ask for a catalog? So both methods are effective. If you're already doing arbitrage and you already have a portfolio of brands that you're selling successfully, then I always say start there, right? Because that's low hanging fruit. You already know which products from those brands are selling. More than likely, it's going to be very easy for you to locate that brand's contact information, call them up. And sometimes you can even say, like, sometimes when I was doing arbitrage, I'd be super honest with them, say, hey guys, like, we're selling a lot of your products already. We buy them from retailers at a discount and flip them, but we would love to go directly to you guys, directly to the source, and be able to purchase in larger quantities and start to form a relationship with you guys that way. So, but either way, right? You can also go directly to wholesalers, go directly to distributors, and start sourcing their price list as well.
I mean, the unfortunate thing with distributors is that it's kind of hard to qualify the products within a distribution company and just like the pricing that you're going to get, right? Because inevitably, when you open accounts, you're going to get a catalog, and that catalog is going to have three like types of products that are on Amazon that do well, products that are not on Amazon, and then products that are on Amazon that don't do very well. And before you put all the legwork in opening that account, it's hard to decipher what sort of contents are going to be within that category or the catalog. However, with the brand approach, you can do all that qualification up front. You can identify if Amazon's in the picture. You can identify if the brand's in the picture. You can identify the velocity and the competition, all these sorts of things, which kind of just are a shortcut in how you're approaching this outreach, right? Because you're going to do the outreach either way. I would rather you do outreach that's very pointed and strategic, where the outcome is probably a lot more of a converting valuable mindset rather than distribution companies where you have no idea what you're getting yourself into.
Yeah, let's see what we got here.
You're drinking glass, but okay, yeah, you got to.
Yeah.
What do you think about Aquapana? You like it or no?
Oh, the data's actually fire on this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I wonder why this guy. I doubt this seller has brand exclusive. I mean, he's a massive seller. He's FBA.
The new mall's huge. They have an exclusive with
them.
Organifi. So have you ever heard of the brand Organifi? They're like a $50 million a year supplement brand. New Mall has a solo exclusive with Organifi and has for years. They're a huge seller. So I want to address this too, because this person's asked us a couple of times. They said, when do you know it's the right time to switch to wholesale? I have capital built up for my sneaker reselling business, but I've only been doing OA and RA for like 3 to 4 months. So if you've got the capital, which I always recommend, if you're going to switch to wholesale or even add wholesale component to your business, you want to have at least 5K in capital, right? Ideally 5 to 10K or more. So if you've been doing online arbitrage and retail arbitrage for 3 to 4 months, you've got a sneaker reselling background. If you feel confident in your ability to read a keeper graph, and if you're willing to put in the work to reach out to some of these suppliers, then why not go ahead and start adding wholesale as a component to your business, right? You don't need to necessarily switch completely, but go ahead and start dedicating a little bit of time each day to reaching out to some suppliers. I say start now, especially like you said, if you have the capital available.
Yeah, I was asked something similar. Sawyer, was it difficult switching from sneakers to wholesale? I wouldn't say it was difficult. It was definitely a slower process than just being able to go to the outlet and spend a bunch of money on shoes. But I am pretty much fully wholesale now that we're in the new year. I did a good amount of arbitrage in December, but I mean, honestly, if you just really dedicate like 4 to 6 months to wholesale, you'll have it replace your sneaker business pretty easily.
Yeah, and what does it matter if it's hard?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, what are you just not going to do it, right? Like if it's easy, everyone would be doing it, then it wouldn't be worthwhile.
Yep.
And like you say, go into a job you don't like for the next 40 years is hard enough as it is.
Way harder. Yeah. Like you think of all those people that told you wouldn't be shit, right? The girl in second grade who wouldn't take your Valentine, right? the kid who stuffed you in the locker in middle school, right? The teacher the English teacher who looked at you like you weren't going to be anything, right? And he gave you a C+, even though he gave the girl that was sitting next to you that didn't do any work an A- just for showing.
Are these real life experiences?
I was about to say, Miles
don't let them be right.
Miles definitely keeps receipts. 100%.
Yeah. He's got a spreadsheet for everything.
He's got mugshots in his mind of all the teachers, all the people the girl that turned down his Valentine.
Don't let them be right.
Okay, so this is a good question here from Bowtied Caps Lock. So I think this is a situation. This is definitely not like a common situation, but it's one that like a lot of people find themselves in, especially people that have a good W-2 job that make good money and want to get into Amazon. So they asked, what's the fastest way to run with Amazon if you have 20K and you're just starting? So if you have 20K and you're just starting, you might be tempted to start with wholesale, but don't, right? If you're brand new to Amazon, meaning you don't even have a seller account, you've never read a Keepa graph, you've never sourced a product before, do online arbitrage, do retail arbitrage for as long as it takes to get really good at reading a Keepa graph. And you can keep doing that. There's nothing wrong with continuing to do online arbitrage, retail arbitrage, no matter how much capital you have. But if you do decide you want to add what I think is a more scalable component, then you can start, like I said before, right? Start adding wholesale little by little. You don't need to completely pivot your business overnight. And if you've got profitable products that you're selling from your arbitrage business, absolutely don't stop selling them.
Yeah, I mean, going back to what I said before, right? We would rather you make a $500 mistake rather than 5,000 or 50,000, right? MOQs are higher, more is at stake, longer turnaround time, so you don't gain as much traction, you don't gain as much feedback in terms of what you're doing, the products you're purchasing. Whereas with OI, you can turn and burn money and products weeks and months at a time.
Who am I seeing in Miami? Ooh, all 4 of us, that's for sure.
Yep.
Kosh said, wait, everything I buy on Amazon isn't sold by Amazon. That's funny because that's what I thought too, right?
I thought that too.
Dude, I thought that and it took a Reezy Resells video that I discovered in 2017 for me to realize, like, wait, everything I buy on Amazon isn't from Amazon. And it was so eye-opening. And I feel like a lot of people that aren't in this space, like that's what they think, right? They don't realize it.
Kaj is an OG though. He's hip to it. He's hip.
Oh yeah, he's totally joking.
Yeah.
So Brad is saying that my listing isn't considered new because orders purchased from Amazon from a third party doesn't have the warranty. Should I just liquidate it?
So they're basically what the brand is saying is like, oh, if it doesn't come directly from us, then the warranty isn't valid and therefore it's not technically new. Well, just because the warranty is voided if it's not bought directly from the brand doesn't mean that it's not a brand new product. So like technically the brand doesn't have any ground to stand on, but at the same time, if the brand, it sounds like they don't want you selling their products on Amazon, I would probably just sell through that brand and move on, right? Because there's plenty of brands out there that won't have an issue.
Same thing we were talking about, like potential IP concerns, stuff like that. There's so many opportunities out there that it's not worth risking your account health for 1 or 2 products for a couple hundred dollars. Jeez. Just keep it moving. Look for the more surefire products that you know you can flip. You know you can make 15%, 12%, 20% margin and keep it rolling.
Can someone check the private chat? I don't know why I can't remember that. Flips4Miles, you need a haircut? Interesting. You must be new here. Interesting. Can you submit a safety claim for FBM orders? Yes.
Yep.
Somebody said you need a haircut, Miles.
Yeah.
I think I need one too.
They must be new here.
Do you have inventory lab or seller board?
Get this money? Yes, sir. Bro, how... I don't know why I can't remember where it is.
Well, I haven't figured it out for seller board yet, but I
just do it on Sawyer Central.
Oh, I don't know where to do it on seller board, but I know where it has the, like, it shows you like a daily picture of it, but I need to be able to download that.
Okay, so Alan has a good question here. He says, Corey, what do your VAs do in the wholesale side of the business? Did they decide how many units you buy? Yeah, so my head of operations, she's our buyer as well. She will go through all of our products that we're currently selling and see, all right, what's selling well? What do we need to buy more of? And then she will draft a purchase order. And she doesn't place the purchase order, but she essentially will put that draft in front of me and say, hey, based on our velocity, based on how many we've sold over the last 30, 60, 90 days, this is how many I think we should order, right? So that all I have to do is take one look at that, look at our seller board velocity metric, and just say either, yes, I agree, or no, let's up or raise or lower that quantity. But I mean, at this point, she's been with me for over 4 years. So I mean, she 90 to 95% of the time, I completely agree with her suggestion, and she goes ahead and just places the order.
Is there ever a situation where you just let her rip?
Yeah, so certain products, like some products that we've carried for a long time, and like this kind of sounds bad, but like there's some products where for whatever reason, like I don't answer a Slack and it's like an opportunity buy. She'll be like, hey, like I just bought this product. I know like it's
that's
no-brainer.
Yeah,
She's a dude. She's like,
free reign to
You
chatbot.
were telling me about her negotiating and just being so firm on the price.
She's a killer, and that's so we so I guess for anybody in this chat, I don't know if anybody in this chat was a part of the wholesale challenge back in July, but I interviewed her right for I think like an hour and a half during the day of one of the challenges. It was like an additional session, and I got really good feedback on that. So if you're going to be joining us for the upcoming challenge here in January, you'll get to hear from her and see another interview with her firsthand. She is amazing.
Have you flown out to see her yet?
Not yet. So that's something that I promised them I promised them I would do it, and they have not let me forget about it. And I definitely will.
You got to channel your I forgot his name now. I feel bad. So
Carter, come on.
No, the older head, the bigger guy.
Oh, I'm not sure.
Oh, yes,
I know. I think Fast Track has been out there.
No, I know in Miami. He's
duh. My bad. Okay, I wasn't thinking of him. That's my guy though. That guy's awesome. Yeah, Fast Track. That guy's awesome.
Yeah, he's a homie. Is it worth shipping or selling in Canada? Do y'all sell to other countries' markets? So in our business, we sell into Canada through the NARF program. So that's a program where our FBA inventory here in the States is eligible to be purchased by customers in Canada, right? And so I know some private label sellers that they sell in the US, and they claim that if you can get at least a couple of sales like per day or per week in Canada via the NARF program, then it's worth sending your inventory to Canada FBA, because if you sell at least a few units via the NARF program, you're going to sell 3, 4, 5, sometimes even 10 times more units when you send directly to Canada. That's not something that we've done yet, but it is definitely something that a lot of people do successfully.
Let me put something out there about NARF. I was in it about like 2 years ago, I'd say, like for my first year on Amazon. And I was told by someone, I don't know if this is true or not, and I know, Corey, for you just get rid of all your unfulfillable returns anyway, so it really, really matter. But I was told that if you return a product from Canada or Mexico or wherever, it doesn't actually come back to the US, and you don't really ever see that product again. So if you're selling high return rate products, it could end up losing money. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, I just turned it off a couple of years ago just because I just didn't feel
like if you were doing like only grocery or like beauty stuff, I think it makes one. Which actually, dude, I was killing it on the beauty stuff last night with my coaching guys, killing it. Basically, let me break down the premise, right, for anyone watching, right? So a lot of beauty brands aren't big enough to be carried on a bunch of websites. Therefore, if it has 10 plus sellers, it's most likely OA. You know where that inventory is coming from, right? Keep a product finder searches for that brand tell you the best performing products in that brand. Therefore, you just have to bridge the gap in terms of making that item profitable, which is typically going to be from whatever coupon they have on their website or when they run a site-wide sale. And that's why you need to have a burner email address that has accounts on as many websites as possible so you can get fed when those deals are going on, and then you immediately know where to buy a bunch of good inventory.
That's it. I taught him well.
All right, let's save our boys some trouble here. So he said, would you pay for product research services? Definitely not.
If you're asking that question, no. Yeah.
Why not use an inventory tool though, or do you find it more effective for replenishing?
Yeah, so that was Alan who asked about like how do we do our replenishing. So we've tried multiple different like inventory management, forecasting tools, and at the end of the day, there's just really no good tool out there specifically for wholesale, especially a wholesale business that deals with a lot of SKU turnover, right? That's constantly bringing in new products. So I mean, in our experience, we just look at Sellerboard. We look at the velocity metric within Sellerboard, and then just base that on how many days of inventory we want to buy. It's not perfect. I've heard of some people having success with prompting. If they know how to prompt ChatGPT, they can prompt ChatGPT in a way that ChatGPT will give you like an entirely formatted Excel sheet that will forecast for you. But again, it takes knowing how to prompt it. Oh yeah. There's some guys in MDS that have like crazy like Google Sheets where they spent like hours crafting a prompt for ChatGPT.
Yeah, and then
ChatGPT just spit out
one extra seller hops on the listing, and then the whole thing's destroyed.
Well, it's based on your inventory. Like you basically feed it your sales reports, and then it'll, I guess, based on the algorithm that it created, it'll spit out like your your forecast or whatever. It's not perfect.
That's
interesting.
there's certain, like, and then 2 people hop on the listing and the whole thing's, you know what I mean? Like, and it probably doesn't change it too
Miles puts one of the products in his YouTube video and the whole thing.
It's over.
Do I just CPA it? Yeah. So like, Jules, just call Jules, man. You just call a couple of CPAs. Someone will help you out. Any principles that you guys preach the same for UK market too? Pretty much the same thing, honestly. Okay. How can I
just show them the bars? Show them the
how can I get a girl to
show them
like
the bars.
Okay, step 1, go to selleramp.com, right? Step 2, right? Hit the get a free trial button, right? Step 3, right? Put in your credit card info. Step 4, sell your Xbox.
Yep.
Step 5,
rise and grind shirt.
Yes, my bad. I was almost.
That's actually step 2.
Yeah, you need the buyback Spanish shirt as well,
right?
Yeah.
Delete Instagram and delete Snapchat, right? And that's that. How to start? Where start best for me? Okay, so go on YouTube and search Flips4Miles free course. Watch that 80-minute long video. That's going to really nicely bring you up to speed on this stuff very, very quickly too.
So Nerd Love said, is there a way to remove negative reviews that Amazon won't strike? So so we actually have a 100% success rate of getting negative feedback removed in the last 4 years. So when you request the feedback removal, sometimes Amazon will automatically strike through it. And in that case, great. If they don't, then you can click, I think it's like create a case or something like that. Yeah. And then we've been using the same line for the last 5 years. And like I said, it works 100% of the time. And we just say, since this order was fulfilled by Amazon, we should not be penalized. We should not be liable for the negative feedback hit. That's all we say. Super generic. You wouldn't think that works, but like I said, 100% success rate.
Wait, so your positive feedback is 100% on Amazon?
I think it's like 99% lifetime, but
that's pretty wild.
When you're all FBA, that's way easier. FBM,
my FBM hurt my.
Yeah, if you're FBM, that does not apply for FBM. So that's if you're 100% FBM.
Corey, do you keep 4 stars?
You mean like our feedback score?
Yeah.
Oh, like if we get a 4-star feedback. Yeah. So anything.
I'm always keeping the 4 stars.
Anything 3 stars or less. 3 stars is technically neutral. So if it's 3 stars or less, we request removal. But 4 and 5 stars we keep.
How does one get into the sick group chats with your boys? So number 1, I already know just looking at that car that car is probably way too expensive. Like you shouldn't have that much of your money in that car, right? Step 2, right? Anonymous profile picture typically is a bad look, right? Step 3, exist on the internet and be yourself, and you'll find the people that you should get along with.
I was about to get a clap back for that.
No, right? It's like you know what I mean? Like if your car's your profile, like you need to be you. Like you need to be proud of yourself, not proud of your car. Sold it already, no worries. Good work. Okay, Xbox next.
There we go.
Xbox and delete Snapchat. Delete Snapchat after that, right?
The B Flip special.
Yes, read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and The Slight Edge, the book, right? Read the Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
That's good, yeah. That's a good one.
Sawyer, whatever happened with that Voorhees letter for Lego you tweeted about? Yeah, that was for someone else I know got that. They were buying it from like a international distributor. So some SKU that they were selling on, I guess Lego didn't want them to, or like, I don't know, because I've never seen Voorhees on Lego before. But if you're just doing OA, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, well, it's got some good banter. How do I change my profile picture? Go to selleramp.com.
Can't delete Snap. My girl would kill me.
That's a hot
that says right. If she can, like, if she has the power to tell you not to delete an app, you need, like, brother, we got some inner work we need to do.
And an app as useless as Snapchat. I mean,
acceptable turnaround time for a prep center, 24, 48 hours. Sometimes if you send like pallets and pallets, like 3-4 days.
Even feedback customer says the product is Andy. What's your question, my man?
Wait, Tony. So did Tony just tip one of you guys $10? What is that? What does that mean?
I think that goes Miles.
Yeah, it's
because Miles the host.
Yeah.
He said, I just let some clown manager at Nike in a mask tell me I couldn't use my 50% app coupon with tax exemption. I stared at her stupefied. Everyone gets one, boys. I'll be ready for that.
Yeah,
next
that
time.
15%, that's the key to a lot of stuff being profitable at the outlets.
Just wait until they say you can never use 15% again. That's what they told me.
Does it
That's
hurt
insane.
if you don't?
Yeah.
Does it hurt if you don't have social media? Well, my friend Benjamin, you are most likely a grown adult in a developed country. That is a choice. That's a choice, man.
But I'll kind of follow that up with like, I wasn't active on social media as far as my business was concerned for the first 5 years. But a year and a half ago is when I started getting active, and a year and a half ago is when my business really started to take off. So do with that information.
And then
what you
I
will.
ignored Corey's first plea for social media relevance.
It's like, please feature me on my
And I was like,
I had 0 followers, 0 tweets, and I was following like 3
bro,
people.
I still can hear Miles's voice in my head. Like, he goes to your profile. We're on the phone. He's like, dude, he has 2 tweets. And
why did you guys agree to
profile picture too? Your profile picture was at like a wedding of one of like your high school boys.
It was the Chris Potter effect. Chris Potter is
Chris Potter?
Yeah.
Yeah,
The brand came on the listing, dropped the price, and the variation I was selling completely disappeared.
I think that people need a life coach roadmap for that.
Dude, we're not even going to get into it, but if I dropped my data SOP, that would we're not going to get into it, but that would shock the world.
Should I create a removal order or sell on another listing? So removal orders take a while. They're expensive. If you still have the ASIN or the FN SKU, I would call sales support and see if they can get that back. It may have gone suppressed. They may have separated that variation off. I would just say, this is the ASIN I was on. This is the parent ASIN it was under. This is the sales data I had. Can you fix the situation? And they may be able to, but I would do everything in your power to avoid the removal order.
That's all a good banter. Cool, sweet. All right, so we're going to hop off for now. Everyone have a great Friday night, right? Make sure you follow all these beautiful fellas on social media, right? If you're brand new to this stuff, right, go register for the free training at the link in the description right there. That's going down on Wednesday night, right? Go on YouTube and search Flips4Miles free course as well, right? Get SellerAmp, get Keepa, and start getting after with this stuff. And then also, Corey, you want to mention Wholesale Challenge?
Yeah, so guys, we've got a 7-day live training happening later this month. It's taking place January 22nd through the 29th. It's called the Wholesale Challenge. It is, like I said, 7 days of live training. We're going to be going through A to Z, how to start, scale, manage a fully remote wholesale business. We ran it back in July, and it did so well that we had to do it again, right? So for those of you guys that are interested, you can check out wholesalechallenge.com. I know Miles and Garrett and Sawyer maybe as well. They've got affiliate links as well. So if you guys are interested, you can hit the link in their description.
Nah, don't click on Miles. Hold up, I'll get you mine. Hold
up. Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're interested in adding a wholesale component to your business, that's going to be hands down the best wholesale training out there. So join us.
Check that out if you're interested. And appreciate you guys tapping in on the Friday night, right? Check out the free course. Virgin the Wholesale Challenge. Check that stuff out. And then DMs are always open if you guys got questions too. There's a bunch of good free resources in the description in terms like the auto ungate guide, a bunch of tutorials, right? If you need to get a repricer free trial, right? That kind of stuff. You can check that out. We love you guys. And then I'll probably rip a little solo stream tomorrow, and then we'll be definitely back for Money Monday on Monday as well. Have a great night, everyone. Love you guys.
Cool.
See you guys.
Good night.